Hey everyone, happy Sunday to you. I hope all is well. I hope for those that celebrate, you had a good holiday, or if you don't celebrate, I hope you had a good time off or whatever it is you do. That said, we're down to the wire in this course, and this will be my last video for this course. I will still be here for the remainder of the next 2 weeks, absolutely. But and as always, you can reach out if you need anything. But this will be the last video. We're down to 2 assignments. If you haven't done your quiz 4, you have till tonight to do that, so no worries there. Otherwise, sticking with chapter 5 in the Therapeutic Alliance, you have your last DB on the Therapeutic Alliance, right? And this chapter is also on matching clients to self-help groups. You see how this is all kind of culminated into this, right? And so, I hope you gain some knowledge you can use by attending these meetings. Even for those that were already familiar, having a new experience, reframing it. I told you from the jump I was going to challenge those that already knew about, quote, recovery, what it is, what it isn't. I was going to challenge you on that, and I hope I've done that for you. At least get you thinking in different ways. Look, it's our jobs. Not only is it our jobs, it's our ethical responsibility to always remain open-minded to new things and to look at new things and to look at things we already know from a different perspective even, right? I mean, think about if we just said one theory or one style works for everybody with anything else, that'd be silly, right? So why do we do this with recovery, right? Recovery, there's that language again, right? What is recovery? Anyways, I hope you really have enjoyed this. I know it's always sometimes it's anxiety provoking, it's okay. Like there's lots of things we're going to do in life that provokes anxiety. How would you encourage a client, right? But it's inconvenient to have to take these meetings in this class and do these things, but it's also inconvenient for your clients, right? So keep in mind, everything we've done has been geared towards helping you refocus on how to think as a clinician. Lots of good groups, lots of good meetings. They're not going to be right for everybody. And just because I don't like them doesn't mean they're not good. Remember, they're all good. They're just not always good fit for that individual, right? And so Therapeutic Alliance, whether you're in group, whether you're doing individuals, Therapeutic Alliance is the number one determining factor if you're a good fit for this client or not, right? Because I don't want to talk to somebody I don't trust or feel safe with. Now, that trust may take a minute to build. That rapport may take a minute to build, but I don't want to talk to somebody I don't have a rapport with. What you will find is once you have a rapport, they'll just tell you anything, right? For the most part. You'll hear the phrase throughout your career, you're the first person I've ever told this to. And what an honor that is for us to be in that role, right? That means we've done something right. Now, in building that rapport and that therapeutic alliance, that doesn't mean we relate to them necessarily. Now, I know we're, quote, programmed, pun intended, to say, well, one, and I'm just going to use this language, you already know how I feel, but for this topic here, one alcoholic talking to another alcoholic, one addict talking to another addict. I think there's merit to that in those self-help settings, absolutely, right? But in a clinical setting, I don't have to relate. And I know a lot of us as young clinicians, I know myself included, I certainly did this. I use what I have, and what I have is my relatability. And I know that's what I'm taught in 12-step work is, I got to relate to you. No, even your clients will say, I got to have somebody I can relate to. No, they don't. My job as a clinician is to build the rapport, right? And to walk with them through their choices, not to choose for them. Meaning, how do I build rapport? Meaning, right? Like, how do I build that relationship? So I don't have to relate. Many of us go there. Well, if I can relate to you, you're gonna want to be, it's gonna be right there. And I say, yeah, maybe, but that has its potential downfall as well, pitfalls, if you will. I relate to you by creating that environment that feels safe for you, by listening, by paying attention, by reframing, by letting you know I'm here, right? By having empathy, not sympathy, empathy. That's how I build rapport with you, right? I will always use the analogy. We love analogies in this industry, and one is You know, people like to say compare substance use disorders to a diagnosis of cancer or something. That's fine. But I will always use the analogy when I'm talking about clinical work versus self-help work of a brain surgeon, right? Is if I go to have brain surgery, my brain surgeon doesn't have to have had brain surgery to be the best person to help me. If I go to a brain surgery recovery support group, the people in that group sure as heck better have had brain surgery, right? You see the difference there? And that's the same for us, right? Is if I'm going to a self-help group, whether AA, NA, CA, AAA, MBA, kind of kidding there, but you get the idea. SMART, Celebrate, Refuge, Dharma, whatever it is I'm going to, I expect them to have the same disorders I have or something relatable in that sense, absolutely. But if I'm coming to a clinical professional, I'm counting on them to have skill and knowledge to build that safe space for me to open up. And then we can process through whatever it is they want to process, right? So, guys, I've really enjoyed having you in this class, but I hope you see how, before I get there, I'm kind of jumping the gun there, before we go, I hope you see how all of that aligns and why I sent you to these groups to get this experience. My hope is whatever groups you haven't attended, you attend some. If you were unsure how to, whatever your experience, that you attend more of these groups. And I know that's asking a lot. We all have families, careers, work, whatever, school, more school. I get it. I did all that. I know. But that's what makes us the best LCDCs, right? Is having this knowledge to share with our clients, to educate our clients and their families, right? So I hope you do that. I hope you always take this attitude towards growing and learning. It doesn't stop when you get licensed. In fact, it just increases, right? We're always wanting to learn what's new, a new approach, whatever it is, right? That's on us as clinicians to do. We don't want to stay stagnant because substance use disorders don't stay stagnant, right? They change. While much of it stayed the same, much of it changes. The environments change. Anyway, you get the idea, right? So finish your DBs. Finish strong, guys. In fact, for one, just for a last bonus, for 5 points or up to 5 points on any assignment you have that needs 5 points, just email me the hashtag finish strong. And I'll add 5 points to any assignment just because you guys have worked hard this semester, I know. And I hope that's helpful for you. But be watching your points. Look in your syllabus. You need 940 to leave with an A. And you don't need 1,000, you need 940. And that's the highest A I can give. But you need 920 to leave with an A minus. So be paying attention. This is the last week I'll take extra credit. Let me rephrase that. I'll take extra credit all this week and up to midpoint of next week. So Wednesday of the following week will be the last day I accept extra credit. So if you need to do that, be paying attention. Again, you're down to these 2 assignments, your last DB and your final paper. Your reflection paper it doesn't need to have any references used, but it does need to stick with the same APA format. And if it doesn't, you will lose points for that. Keep that in mind. Other than that, guys, keep rocking and rolling. I look forward to becoming colleagues at some point. If I can help anytime in the next 2 weeks, I'm always here. That doesn't change, but this, like I said, this will be the last video I do. I will put an announcement up at the beginning of next week, just like normal. And yeah, guys, I hope all of you had a great week. Hope you have a great upcoming week, and we'll talk soon.